Assalamu alaikum. My name is Maaz Ahmad and in this video I will be explaining the lab number 5 of microcontroller and embedded systems. In this lab we are required to interface an LCD which is short for as liquid crystal display and hex keyboard with Atmega using Atmos Studio and Proteus. So first of all we will be getting ourselves familiar with LCD. So LCD is used to interact with our code, like what if we want to convey a message to the user at a simple at any of the instances or any of the positions from the points from the code, we can use LCD to display that information out loud. So we have defined these are all of the LCD's pins. Will be using an LCD 16 cross 2 LCD. We have 8 data pins, 2 LED pins, backlight pins, VCC and ground, enable pin. A high to low pulse here is given when data is sent to data pins. RW read write pin, read write is equal to 0 for writing to register, read write will be equal to 1 to read from register. RS is short for register selection and it will be 0 for command register and 1 for data register. VWE is power supply to control contrast and a potentiometer will be connected here to control the contrast of the LCD. Then we have VSS for ground and VCC for main power supply, and all of these functions are defined in a separate header file which we created earlier. So I will be showing you that header file in just a moment. And we will be using the LCD in 4-bit instead of using 8-bit communication mode. So if I go to my code, here we can see that we have defined all of these codes. And first of all, we have initialized the LCD, and then we have write HELLO. Sorry, this one is O. And here we can see that we have a library for the same code that we wrote here. These these lines of code are taking information, taking these functions LCD initialize and LCD data write from this header file that we added right here. So in this header file, first of all, we have wrote the function for command write, like if we want to send a command, and as we discussed from the previous table, that commands are being sent continuously to change the values of RS, RW, and enable pins. So other than that, we have the LCD data write, which takes in only one character. So for writing a string or a bunch of letters, we will be calling the LCD data write in a loop or write after one another. Then we have LCD initialize. LCD initialize is used for initializing the control of LCD. Like if we want to use LCD in our code, first of all, we have to initialize the LCD LED so that the microcontroller knows that the data he's sending out is for an LCD. Then we have LCD display and LCD set cursor. Set cursor is for setting the position of the cursor where we want to write next. So let's say if we have 0 0, which means it is at the start initial position. If we have 1 0, which means that the row is now 1 instead and column is still 0. Then we have lastly another important function LCD clear for clearing out all of the information on that screen right now. So now if I go to my Proteus file, which is right here, and I will run this, and we can see that our word hello is being displayed. So that's it from this video, and I hope you learned how to control an LCD from a simple at mega. And till next time, Allah Hafiz.